Episode 1127 of the Multifamily Collective. Tonight, let's talk about trust. This is right on the heels of talking about transparency and communication. Trust is really a byproduct of communication and vulnerability in that communication. And what has happened at the sort of the peak of the pandemic and all of our responses to it, we talked about this a little bit yesterday, in that we over communicated all of the things that we were doing as a result of the pandemic, and the certain data points, or the data points that were coming in on a near daily basis, near hourly basis. Sometimes we overreacted, over responded, and over communicated as it related to those things. But what happened at the peak of the pandemic, after all those protocols, systems, and processes, and disciplines, and routines were put in place, all of that communication started to trail off, and so did trust. And so one of the trends that we're identifying, or that we're seeing through a bunch of the surveys and research that we are doing, is that trust factor is actually on the decline. So during the run up to the peak of the pandemic, 9 out of 10 team members, according to one survey that I read, actually trusted in their senior leadership and the response to the COVID pandemic. And as the pandemic started to, all those systems and disciplines and routines started to set in place, that has now trailed off to about 6 in 10 people who actually trust senior leadership. And the main reason why is because they feel like communication has fallen off to a point where they just don't have this insight that they used to have into the organization, or they don't feel like they're in the mind of the leadership in the organization, or that the leadership is holding something back from them as it relates to getting their job done, and or the health and welfare of the organization, et cetera, et cetera. So my encouragement to you, again, same encouragement from yesterday, is to go back to the model of over communicating as it relates to things that are going on in your organization, and the work that is being done on your organization, and the things that are happening in the environment that are impacting your organization. Just get back to over communication. Can't communicate too much. Take care. We'll talk to you again soon.